Hey guys, what is up? It is Nick from That Student Life Australia, and today we're going to be talking about what you should choose to study at university. Let's go. Okay, so before we dive right into this video, I know it has been a super long time since I've actually, or Shay or I have actually made a video, and I apologise for that. The last semester at uni was a little bit hectic, there was other things going on, work, whatnot. Anyway, we're making videos again, is the point. Okay, so if you are in year 12 in Australia at the moment, or final year of schooling in a different country, or if you are a mature age student who is looking to go back to university or go to university for the first time, there are a few things that you should definitely consider, a few questions you should ask yourself before you actually go back. The first and most obvious one that you sort of see lying around a lot of people ask you is, what do you actually enjoy studying? It seems stupid, it's simple, and you're going to get asked it about 1,000 times, but it's important because, you know, at the end of the day, if you don't enjoy what you're studying, then there's not going to be much motivation there for you to, you know, put in the hours and get good grades and eventually get a good job or whatever you want to do in that field. So whatever sort of subjects you're doing at school at the moment, or if you've been away from school for a little bit, what subjects did you enjoy there? You should pursue a career like similar or with similar traits to those subjects that you enjoyed in high school at university. That being said, there might have been some things that you did at school or did not do at school that you might possibly like to pursue at university. Now, lots of universities will offer double or dual degrees, which is an awesome way to continue studying something that you enjoyed in high school, but also explore something new. Remember, going to university and doing a degree in a certain field doesn't require you to have a certain amount of background knowledge, or if it does, the university will often provide these background or bridging courses. So if it's something that interests you and you feel like, oh no, I can't do it because I didn't do that particular thing at school or at a high school level, don't stress, there are plenty of bridging courses that are available for you. Another thing to consider, which might seem a little bit empty, if that's the right word, is your financial goals for the future. Now, everyone is always going to tell you, do what you enjoy, you know, that old adage, you know, if you do what you love, then you'll never work a day in your life. That's true, but, you know, some people, if your goal is to like drive like 5 different types of Ferraris, you don't go and like do, I don't know, a PhD in microbiology. Like, you know, those two don't sort of add up unless you are a world-leading professor. So take that into consideration. Don't let your financial goals sort of push you into a field that you don't actually want to study, but, you know, it's just something to consider. If you want to live this big, like, outrageous kind of lifestyle, you know, take that into consideration when you're choosing your degree. Okay, another thing for you to consider when you're choosing what degree you want to study is what is actually in demand at the time. So, for example, data science is a massive field that is in high demand right now. So, you know, everyone sort of needs data science, which is why it's sort of so applicable or so in demand, right? You know, if you're a financial institution, you need someone to crunch sort of like data, certain markets, certain risks. In biology, for example, Human Genome Project, you need data scientists sort of figuring out sequences of DNA to help predict sort of what genes are active in you know, promoting certain types of disease, preventing certain types of disease, etc., etc. You know, what else is in demand at the moment? Teaching is in Australia like a national priority. But, you know, lots of people doing teaching at the moment, so I'm not sure whether that's still as in demand as it was. But the point is to look at, you know, what jobs are available after you finish your degree, right? You don't want to go into some sort of nothing field. It's a really, really hard degree to get, spend 6 years doing it and then have no jobs at the end. You know, it's not good for you financially, mentally, etc., etc. So look at what's in demand before you choose what degree you want to do. Okay, so let's look past those sort of surface sort of qualifying questions that everyone sort of gets asked. You know, what do you like to do? What's your financial goal? What's in demand? Blah, 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 blah. Everyone's going to ask those questions, and, you know, resources to the answers for those are sort of everywhere. So another thing to look at is how long do you actually want to be at university. Most undergraduate degrees are 3 years long, some are 4 years. I'm doing a double degree in science and mathematics, and that's 4 years full time. But depending on sort of what kind of grades you want to get and how efficiently, how good you are at university, how much you work, you can potentially do like 5 subjects a semester, which is going to actually reduce the amount of time that you're at university for. So for example, if you don't need to have a part-time job, I think it's more than within your capabilities to do 5 subjects a semester. If you're doing fine at university, for example, if you have a full-time job, you might only do 3 subjects a semester. So something to take into consideration, how long you actually want to be at university when you're studying, and sort of use what's going on in your life as a predictive variable to figure out how long you're actually going to be there. Another thing to consider when choosing your degree at university is that if you're considering doing business and you don't actually know what you want to do, I strongly consider that you do a business degree in combination with something else. Most, well, in my experience, what I've seen, the most common combined degree is business and something. You know, a business degree on its own doesn't carry a lot of merit from asking, just me asking employers, you know, would you hire someone with a business degree? And they're just like, well, no. You know, you finish university with a business degree, you probably have the same qualifications as the person that's interviewing you. What you don't have is experience. So I strongly consider sort of using a business degree and something else at the same time, because essentially you have the skills from one degree and the business degree will allow you to sort of climb up that corporate ladder. Like, that's just what my perspective is. I'm not sure how accurate it is. I just know that lots and lots of people do business degrees, and I know there aren't that many business jobs out there as such. The last piece of advice that I can give, and probably the most important advice, is don't choose a university degree based off what your high school scores were. Now, that can sort of be interpreted 2 ways. If you didn't get the right ATAR or qualifying score to get into a particular university course, don't cop it on the chin and do an alternative course you didn't really want to do the bridging course that the university will offer you. Go to TAFE, do something, you know, what's 6 months in a 90-year spectrum of living, roughly. Nothing, right? Like, just, you know, people take gap years. Like, just treat your, you know, bridging learning year as a gap year, right? And that way, it's like you'll be learning what you want, not doing some other alternative course. The other thing that I mean by saying don't let your university course that you choose be dictated by your school score is that, you know, some people get a really high ATAR and maybe that course that they wanted to do only has like a score of maybe 60 or 70 or something like that. And they feel too proud almost, like they've worked too hard at school to actually do that degree. So they choose something that's got a high ATAR, but something they don't actually want to do because they feel that, you know, doing that lower degree is beneath them. It's a stupid frame of mind to have. You should just choose your degree based on what you want to do. No one gives a shit about your ATAR when you get to university, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever category you fall into. So yeah, just do what you want and you can't go wrong. Anyway, that is enough yabbering on from me for today. So I hope this video was semi-helpful in helping some of you choose sort of what you want to do at university. Remember, it's always about what you enjoy, but, you know, don't choose a niche field in which there's no jobs, and by consequence you're not going to make any money, because you're not going to have a very good time trying to live your life that way. Consider how long the university degree is going to take, consider what's in demand at the time, and you can't go wrong. Thanks guys, it's Nick from That Student Life Australia, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.